Welcome to the Shikama Live Show with your host Shikama, produced by Boundless Enterprise LLC, in association with www.LasVegasNevadaDUI.com. Now I know what you're saying. He's at it again. But I have vetted this, this story. I have double-checked, triple-checked, and gone through different sources. And actually contacted some of the State Department people and one of the professors who was actually in the video. One of the people in this story is actually not related to me, but well, I'll get to that at the time. This video is called "Bush Indicted and Found Guilty of War Crimes in Nuremberg International Court Held in Kuala Lumpur in absentia." A war crimes expert and lawyer, Francis Boyle, professor of international law at the University of Illinois College of Law in America, was part of the prosecution team. After the case, he said, "This is the first conviction of these people anywhere in the world." While the hearing is regarded by some as being purely symbolic, human rights activist Boyle said he was hopeful that Bush and company could soon find themselves facing similar trials elsewhere in the world. "We tried 3 times to get Bush in Canada, but were thwarted by the Canadian government. Then we scared Bush out of going to Switzerland. The Spanish attempt failed because of the government there, and the same happened in Germany." Boyle then referenced the Nuremberg Charter, which was used as the format for the tribunal, when asked about the credibility of the initiative in Malaysia. He quoted, "Leaders, organizations, instigators, and accomplices participating in the formulation or execution of a common plan or conspiracy to commit war crimes are responsible for all acts performed by any persons in execution of such a plan. The U.S. is subject to customary international law and to the principles of the Nuremberg Charter," said Boyle, who also believes the week-long trial was almost certainly being monitored closely by both Pentagon and White House officials. "In what is the first ever conviction of its kind anywhere in the world, the former U.S. President and 7 key members of his administration were found guilty of war crimes. Bush, Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, and their legal advisory, Alberto Gonzales, David Addington, William Haynes, John Yoo, and Jay Bybee." Jay Bybee was my law school professor. "Were tried in absentia in Malaysia. The trial held in Kuala Lumpur heard harrowing witnesses' accounts from victims of torture who suffered at the hands of the U.S. soldiers and contractors in Iraq and Afghanistan. They included testimony from British man Muazzam Beg, an ex-Guantanamo detainee, and Iraqi woman Jamila Abbas Ahmedi, who was tortured in the notorious Abu Ghraib prison. At the end of the week-long hearing, the 5-panel tribunal unanimously delivered guilty verdicts against Bush, Cheney, Rumsfeld, and their key legal advisors, who were all convicted as war criminals for torture and cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment. Full transcripts of the charges, witnesses' statement, and other relevant material will now be sent to the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, as well as the United States and the Security Council. The Kuala Lumpur War Crimes Commission is also asking that the names of Bush, Cheney, Rumsfeld, Gonzales, Yoo, Bybee, Addington, and Haynes be entered and included in the Commission's Register of War Criminals for public record. The tribunal is the initiative of Malaysia's retired Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad, who staunchly opposed the American-led invasion of Iraq in 2003. He sat through the entire hearing as it took personal statement and testimonies of 3 witnesses, namely Abbas Abid, Mozam Beg, and Jamila Hamedi. The tribunal also heard 2 other statutory declarations of Iraqi citizens Al-Shalal and Raul Ahmed, another British citizen. After the guilty verdict reached by 5 senior judges was delivered, Mahathir Mohamad said, "Powerful countries are getting away with murder." Now, as I said, I did vet this story. This particular story in some of the articles that I was quoting in are from actual internal political magazines, like professional magazines. So these these articles aren't something that's available to the public. It's supposedly available. There's magazines for every profession. This particular one is for political, political professionals, government officials and what have you. I did vet the story. Like I said, I did contact people, and this is true. Now, there is another story floating around that Obama, Bush, and Clinton were all indicted for war crimes and have been tried. That one I'm still trying to get information on and vet that story, and I'll get that back to you. That one does seem to be true so far. All of the evidence points that that is also true. These people, the President Obama, the impeachment might not even get going before the actual war crimes trial is not trials, but is if they're captured through international means by traveling and brought to justice for being found guilty of war crimes. So stay tuned, and I'll keep you abreast of this story. Thank you for watching the Shikamba Live Show.